Okay, you are in the kitchen with Jelly 007, and tonight we're having sweet potatoes, and we're gonna do them obviously in the Instant Pot, one of my favorite devices, of course. And I got a few things set out that I've put on my potatoes, or my sweet potatoes, and all of that, man. And there's many more things. If you ever ate sweet potatoes, you know. I mean, I could name things for an hour. Maple syrup's one thing I don't have out here that I put on it a lot of times. But honey, ground cinnamon, ground ginger is great. This right here is fantastic. I mean, kids love it, but everybody does. I mean, it's a great thing to put on one. It gives it obviously a sweet potato pie like flavor. Black pepper and kosher salt, dark brown sugar. That I'm kind of partial to the dark. You know, I just like it better. A really good butter. Any good butter. That's a very good one right there, by the way. I love that particular butter. It's got a high fat content, and it just tastes good. You know, I've always said if you're going to use butter on stuff, it's better to use, spend the extra few pennies or dollars to get a good grade butter, because it means that. It means something, it tastes, it adds flavor. And especially on potatoes. I'll add one thing about how I clean potatoes. I do this with all potatoes, white potatoes and sweet. If you'll notice on here, they're kind of cleaned, really well. In other words, some of the skin is gone. Well, that's because I use this right here, and I do like them cleaned up. I don't want to take all the skin off, but I could. I guarantee you I could with this right here if I wanted to, and this right here is even more. I use this on carrots and stuff sometimes. If you don't want to take the whole skin off, you can use Scotch-Brite, and that's what this is. And this is a rougher version of the blue. Now, I normally use the blue for everything. I use it on my pots and pans. I use it on my dishes. I use a sponge on this side, obviously, and that Scotch-Brite, it's a great thing to have at your sink and to clean potatoes with. In fact, these right here, these were cleaned with the Scotch-Brite, with the rough side. This one, I cleaned with a sponge, just to kind of show you, the difference. And you can see it's really clean with just a sponge. But if you look here, you'll see you can see through the skin there. I got it down through the skin, and I didn't really get down on it. I didn't get a lot of pressure on it because I didn't want to completely skin them. I just put minimal pressure on it, and it did that. Now, if I had wanted to skin them, of course, I would have used this. And here's what they look like. Here's what you buy them like. That's what the blue ones are. They're supposed to be non-scratch. And now, I wouldn't want to get down on some of my high-end pots and pans, but I've used them on all my pots and pans forever. I love it, but I don't know why I'm pushing that. Just trying to really explain how to cook a potato and how to clean it. And the things you can put on it. And a sweet potato is a fantastic meal that's quick and easy. And everybody loves them. So, and everybody, all about the Instant Pot if you're watching this video, because it's a great device too. But anyhow, I'm going to get this in there, and we're going to get it started and show y'all what it takes to do this. And if you don't know, and we'll have some potatoes here in a minute. I'll be right back. All right, as I said, pretty straightforward, not much to it. I do have the trivet in, so the trivet is in. I'm going to set all 5 of these potatoes in, obvious. And we're going to put the one I did, just see if there's any, just to know, I want to see if it makes any difference. The one that I did with the sponge is in the middle. I don't think it means a big deal, but just for my, just so I'll know I'm doing it. A cup of water. As everybody knows, the Instant Pot has to have something to make steam with. Can't do that without water. Put the lid on. Make sure it's sealed. Manual for, we're going to, because it's 5 potatoes, I'm doing 20 minutes. And it also depends on the diameter of your potatoes. Everybody knows sweet potatoes come in all different sizes. So, with that size, for those 5, I'm going to do 20 minutes, then we're going to do a 10-minute natural release. So, right now, we're already going. This is already happening. I'm telling you, this is as simple as it gets, as you know, with an Instant Pot. And these potatoes it cooks a potato better than anything I've ever cooked them in. I like them better than baked. But it just gives them a different texture. It's perfect for It's perfect for any type of potato. It does the same thing with a baked potato. I mean, with a white potato or a russet or a baking potato. I mean, you know, it's different, but it does potatoes fantastic, especially sweet potatoes. But anyhow, we'll let that do its thing, and we'll come back and see what it looks like in a minute. Okay, for the record, we're going. It took 9 minutes. I timed it for it to come up to pressure, and then 20 minutes. So that's 29 minutes, obviously, and we're going to let it count to 10 minutes on our countdown clock here. It's going to count up to 10 minutes. And then we're going to do a quick release the rest of the pressure and eat potatoes. So, anyhow, that's where we're at. Okay, our 10 minutes is up. So all we're going to do is release what pressure's left in it and go from there. Again, although it's probably not much, I always, because a lot of beginners watch my videos, make sure your hand's not over that vent port. You just want to have your hand to the side and then press it open. So what we're going to do is let that bleed down for a few minutes. I don't think it's going to take long. We're going to get a potato out. Might let it sit just a minute, maybe not long, and then we're going to dress it up. But be right back. All right. So 2 minutes for that to bleed down. Now we're going to open it up and see what it looks like inside, obviously. And keep from fogging the camera. They cooked up nicely. Oh yeah, that's gonna be just right. I guarantee you. That's the way you want them to look. I mean, that is a well cooked, perfectly cooked sweet potato. I guarantee it. They are every time. Again, you gotta adjust times for different sizes, and that's the only thing about a sweet potato. It's a little tricky because, I mean, not bad, but you have to, and you can't hurt them. I mean, you can eat them when you're done with them anyhow you do it. But what I'm saying is, sweet potatoes are so many different sizes, and you know that. I mean, you've seen them at a supermarket where they're huge or they're, you know, medium, large, small. Let's pull this one out because they're done. There's no doubt. So, I mean, you can see that's pretty soft. That's a perfectly cooked potato. And if you don't like them that soft, obviously back some time off. But I'm going to let that one sit just a minute, and we're going to dress that one up in just a minute and see what it tastes like. We'll be right back. You can see what it looks like. I pretty much just cut an X in the potato, cut it this way, pushed it open, and I'm telling you, it is fantastic. Now comes stuff like butter. And as you can see, I really like butter. I just do. And a sweet potato, it goes really well with a sweet potato. And while they're hot is when you want to get, obviously, the butter on it. Now, this is my brown sugar. And I'm going to put just a few things on it. Right now, I'm going to put this particular potato here, and I'm probably going to eat more than one. I'm going to put my brown sugar. I'm going to put some ginger and some cinnamon. So, just to show you, I know you know how to dress a potato, but since you came this far, it is you know what it is. If you're watching the video, you gotta love potatoes, sweet potatoes, and I do. So now the ginger, I mean, it's got a great. It adds something to it that you got. If you like it, it's perfect. I'm not going to cover it with it. I'm not going to cover it with the cinnamon. It's the brown sugar and the butter's doing mainly what I want. This right here adds a little extra to it. So anyhow, it's really, you got to give it a minute for your butter to melt, and you know how to eat a potato. But anyhow, that is to me a perfectly cooked potato. That's the way I want all my sweet potatoes to be. In fact, I could even add a little, I mean, I like butter to run off of it, you know? So that might be all I'm going to put on there, right there. Maybe a touch more of that. But as you can see, that is fantastic. You won't beat it. You can't get this in a restaurant any better than that. So anyhow, I'm fixing to eat this potato. And I assure you, it might be a little hot right now, but I assure you it's going to be as good as it looks. And it is. And they always are. And the whole family loves them. I mean, everybody in my family loves them. And I'm sure yours, you know, it's hard to find somebody that don't like a sweet potato. There's so many things to do to them. The next one, I'll probably add this. You know, I may put honey, but you said this. There's nothing wrong with what I just did. That's the ground ginger. Adds a good flavor. You know, everything does. So anyhow, that being said, in the kitchen with Jelly 007. Y'all come back to see me. That's how I cook a sweet potato, and it works every time. There's nothing wrong with that method. And it's simple. So anyhow, y'all come back to see me, Jelly 007, www.jelly007.com. That's the best way to find me, because I'm kind of hard to find on YouTube. But it's not about that anyhow. But you can like and subscribe if you want, but no big deal. I'd like for you to, but if you don't, it's no big deal. This right here is an easy meal to cook and feed your family. And whatever that came to, I'd have to do the math on it. 29, it was 9 minutes to come up to pressure, 20 to cook, 10 to bleed off. So we're talking about 39 minutes. So probably from start to finish is well under an hour, my point is. So, 39, it's probably about 45 minutes if you wanted to, if you really turned it on, you could have it on the table. Anyhow, y'all come back to see me. Have a good night.